Sean Maker's the name, Thai Boxing's the game. Welcome to episode 6 of On The Ropes. I have Mescho, Dunko.
Cheers for getting my name right.
Did I get it right?
Aye,
There we
brilliant.
go, man.
Thanks for having me along.
So how you feeling?
Aye, good man. Good.
So obviously Hungry Side and Super Show. Lot talked about. We've got a lot to talk about in August.
Yeah.
What is it? August the
August the 10th.
10th.
Braehead Arena.
So how did it start? How did the idea for it all? How did it start?
Well, basically I was building up my fitness and wellness retreat. It's called Hungry Side. A couple of things fell through the planning, but as I was building that and working on that to help promote it, but instead of paying for advertising and stuff like that, what I done was saying, right, I want to give back. So I started sponsoring fighters, and I started off sponsoring some high level fighters. Obviously, you get Joe Ryan, Liam Nolan, Neve Kinahan. And then I started going more local, and I got Rudy De Silva and the Kyle Donnelly and stuff like that. So, and then I started going to shows and doing Fight of the Night awards and giving out tokens. I done a deal with CAD at Musclebound. They've done me a good deal. We were giving out vouchers and promo stuff, t-shirts and stuff to Fight of the Night awards. And then from that, that kind of ground to a halt. I'll revisit it in a couple of years to get my planning issues sorted out. But off the back of that, I had all these fighters I've been sponsoring. I've always wanted to do a big show. I've promoted my about 12 smaller shows, my about 300-400 people shows. My big mate Dougie McCarran used to be the MC for Yokel. I promoted a lot of small shows, and we always wanted to do a bigger show, or I did. He never wanted a bigger show. Yeah. So I thought, why not? Let's go for it. Let's try and get some of these guys on the show, and every one of them apart from Liam Nolan can fight in the show. Liam's contracted to win, so he can't fight, but just now I've got everyone else involved, so it's got to be massive, man.
Yeah, I can't wait for it, man. I'm absolutely buzzing. So what was it you think that made you want to give back to the Thai community so much? Well,
when I started martial arts, the guy I trained with at the beginning and stuff, I started martial arts when I was basically full steam ahead when I was about 20-year-old, and just kind of got me on the straight and narrow because I was running riot and causing problems and get steaming and mad with it all the time. And so I started martial arts then before my son was born, and then I just got me focused. 4 or 5 years I started with a guy and I never charged any money and stuff, and from that point on, when I went to Muay Thai, I loved it. And then I got into Muay Thai, and when I opened up my own gym, it's never been about money. It's always been about helping people and improving myself and stuff like that. So I think it's always just kind of been that way.
Yeah, that's a great thing to be doing as well. See, when you were talking about when you started when you were 20, see when you were out getting drunk and all, because I was the same. Yeah. See, before I started Muay Thai, I was absolutely the same. I was too busy going out getting steaming, just causing absolute havoc for no reason, man. And then I started Thai, I met Bobby, and it all just changed. Did you feel like Thai played the main part in it?
Well, for the first 5 years, I didn't even know anything about Muay Thai really. I done a martial art called Goshindo, but at the time, as I say, I was running riot, man. And then my girlfriend at the time ended up pregnant, and I went, right, I need to sort myself out. So me and my friend went along to a local leisure centre, and we joined, and the guy I trained with was regimented and strict. Yeah. And at the time, that's just what I needed. After about 3 months, my mate that came along joined with us. He kind of disappeared, and he was like, nah, the guy's fucking mental. But then, because I don't know if this would have helped him, but if he stuck to doing martial arts, but he died not that long after that, maybe about a year and a half, 2 years after that with drugs. So martial arts has definitely saved my life. And then I came through that structure of being strict, and then went to Muay Thai, and it was a lot simpler. It was a science 8 limbs, so it's got everything. But the martial art I used to do with MMA, before I knew anything about MMA, we done grappling, we done long distance, with everything. The only rules in that was no eye gouging and no breaking bones. Yeah. It was mental. I got my black belt, I had to fight 3 people at one time and stand up, and 2 people grappling. it was crazy, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. So what would you say is your favourite one out of all the ones that you've trained in? What's the one you're most enjoyable in?
I love Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
It's just simplest form and pure.
Mm-hmm.
There's there is, if you go Muay Thai and stuff, there's fancy complex moves, but it's just, you get in a flow state.
Yeah.
People are fighting, they get in a flow state, and it's amazing to watch.
So when did you have your first fight? How long had you trained in Muay Thai?
Oh, I know, you know, because my memory's
Mine's awful. Mine's awful too, I can't lie.
I would say I had my first fight when I was probably 28. 28. I was training with Bobby Thompson at SMTC at the time. He kind of ran A1 gym for a while, and then Cha kind of took it over. So I trained with Bobby Thompson at Springburn Leisure Centre, and then I loved it. As soon as I went in the first day, I loved it. I was just like, this is brilliant, I love this. And there was no kind of pressure and whatever, because I was a black belt and I had to be clean shaven and all this.
Is that the rules? Is that
No, before mother martial art, I had a lot of pressure on me at the time when I was going to that and stuff. So I went in Muay Thai and it was just a breath of fresh air. I loved it for the start. And it was probably about 6 or 9 months after I started, I had my first fight.
Yeah.
And it was a N-class fight. Way in on the day, and we drove down to Greenock, and then fighting a guy for Sheffield, I think it was.
Yeah.
With shinnies on, and it turned out on the day there was another guy from our club who was meant to be fighting. So they ended up tossing a coin between me and him who was going to fight.
Who was going to fight?
I fought, and then I got battered, man.
So I was at Muay Thai Jam last Saturday.
Aye, I seen you there.
I seen you there, yeah. So how the Hungry Side logo was in the ring.
Aye.
How did that come about? Did you help set up?
Well, before Santino does the ring hire and that now, before Santino was doing the ring hire, I was doing it for it.
Oh really? Yeah.
I actually bought it off my mate Dougie McAdam. I used to go to shows all over the UK with Big Dougie.
Yeah.
He was an MC, international MC, best MC there was. And then he started doing ring hire. So I used to go to shows in Liverpool, Bolton. I used to go to Super Showdown and stuff like that. Used to be sat ringside after we'd built the ring. He'd be MC, so I'd be sat ringside with him, watching all the big fights. You know what I mean?
Class,
so my shows just came about over a year or 2 years, I think about it.
Yeah.
Me and Dougie used to talk about fights driving up the road. Oh, what would you do better here? What would you do better there? I went to Milan with Big Dougie and do a Yokel show, and he was MCing.
Yeah.
And I walked into the stadium. It was a 7,000 people stadium.
Wow.
There was maybe about 6,000 people in it, and I was like, walked in. I was like, oh wow,
class,
this is different. You know what I mean? This is brilliant. So a lot of ideas I got for promoting my show and the shows that we used to do. We used to do a small show, but we used to put a lot of emphasis on promotion, helping the fighters, the setup, doing a wee bit something a wee bit different. You know what I mean? Like lights, camera, and action. You know what I mean?
So, if I put up some Instagram questions, so I'm going to read them. If my phone's going to load for this. So, what's that kind of Fight Sports Services.
That's Santino.
Is that Santino? Is it?
Oh no, I knew somebody was going.
What can we expect different from HS Super Show? Which will be different from your usual Thai show?
From the usual Thai show, I'm going to have a musician to open up the show. Well, essentially we're going to have 2 shows. I was going to have a junior show, but I've just kind of put that aside. It's too much hassle, man. The venue went 31 security.
31?
31 security. It's costing like $9,000 or something. Jeez. So like if I'd added another show in the beginning of 2 shows. So what I'm going to do is I'm doing a thing. I don't know if you knew, doing at Marshall Mayhem the other week. 2 young guys. I need to get their name.
Junior fight, yeah. One for Kama. One of the
Kama boys. Kama boy Harvey Clark, and then Sean Curran from Irie Moy Siam. They won junior fight of the day down at Allen and Paul's show. And what I'm going to do is they've got a rematch on the start of my show.
Right.
I'm going to do 4 junior fights at the start of the show, and then we'll do the 8-man draw
Right.
and then I'll probably have 2 maybe higher class juniors on. So we've got to do that, and at MTB tomorrow for the junior cards, I've got the fight of the day. It's got to be the second fight for that. So
yeah, that's good, man. So Kyle Fallon _MT, where did you get your fight nickname from?
Depends what nickname it is. Mescho the Daddy Dunko. Is that one?
Mescho the Daddy Dunko. I don't know. He just said nickname. You got a few nicknames, right?
Well, it's Mescho the Daddy Dunko. One of the boys that used to work for me, the boys I used to have like 15 guys work for me years ago, and I stressed out my job and stuff like that, and then I started doing Muay Thai, and then where my yard was, I was where I rented a space off a spray painting guy next door, and I built my own gym.
Yeah.
So I used to come straight from work and smash a bag, or if I'd been stressed out, I'd go smash a bag and train. And then the guys that used to work for me used to come and watch me fight. And one day, I think it was at Bobby's show up in Denny.
Oh, really?
One day, one of them was shouting, Daddy Dunko and that.
Daddy Dunko.
In fact, that was my first B-class fight. And I think the guy was called Jamie Drumgold, but I don't know if he changed his second name. And he did 17 fights, and it was only my 7th fight.
He had 17?
I think it was 16 or 17 fights, and it was only my 7th, and it was my first B-class. I sparked him out in the 3rd round, and then one of the boys called me the Daddy Dunko, and then that was from that point on, Big Dougie used to always introduce me show the Daddy Dunko.
The Daddy Dunko. It's crazy. So Aidan Rankin, obviously he fought Marshall Mayhem.
Right.
He's a junior. He said, any fighters that you have got your eye on? Any wee fighters?
So if Eddie was he the GTBA, I guess?
Yeah, GTBA,
right.
yeah.
Because it was him and the 2 other guys that were in the mix for getting fight of the day.
Oh, really?
Because the way Ali and Paul done it, they spread the juniors throughout the full show.
Yeah.
I was there doing a bit of interviewing and stuff through the back, but I'd been ill all week.
Because I had seen William Harris, and William was saying that he was getting an interview, yeah.
So I'd been ill all week, and then that day I had severe toothache. And it turns out the next day I ended up in the dental hospital with a big abscess and all that. So after I had a young guy fighting. After his fight, we kind of hung about, done a couple of interviews, watched Scott McCulloch and William Reid fight.
Oh, that was a good fight, man.
Done a couple of interviews after that, and then sitting chilling, and then my face was like a balloon.
Yeah.
I thought, right, I need to go home. So I headed off home. So what I'd done is get some footage from a few guys, and then Aidan was a good fight.
Yeah.
And the other 2 boys. But what I would say with Aidan's fight was, I think he was more technical and kind of more one-sided.
Yeah.
But the 2 other boys, I think they were fighting for a European title or something. Or
It was I'm pretty sure it was a European title, yeah.
That was different gravy. See, when I watched that video, I went, oh, the 2 you guys are good.
Yeah.
They deserve to be on the show, you know what I mean?
So the 8-man, talk to me about that. How many rounds is it? Is it 3? This is full A-class, by the way.
No, that's... The first 2, the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, are elbow pads. So
right,
3-minute rounds with elbow pads.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of guys full of bravado. Chris Shaw name was, just let them get on me. A couple of wee scratches. But realistically, man, you get 8 guys trying to elbow the face off each other in the first round. They're not going to get in the final. You know what I mean? So elbow pads the first 2 fights. So that'll be like 6 fights, and then in the final, no elbow pads, 3 frees again.
Yeah. So how is it going to be done? How are you going to decide who's fighting who?
Well, we've got to do 4 fights. We'll do the 4 junior fights. And probably set up and now probably start the show at 12. 4 junior fights. Then we get the 8 men in the ring. And then they pull names at a hat. They'll get like Alec Foreman or somebody renowned to come in. Everybody trusts, pull names at a hat. Right, first 2 names at a hat fighting each other. Next 2 names, boom, boom, boom. And then they go through the back, and then there'll be 2 more kind of junior fights.
Yeah.
Or kind of C or whatever, good level C class fights or whatever. 2 of them, and then the first fight. Boom, 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 4 fights. Then we'll have, I think we'll probably have 3 or 4 3 2-minute rounds with elbow pads.
Yeah.
And then the semi-finals, 2 fights, and then probably 3 or 4 3 3-minute fights. without elbow pads. It just depends. I've got a couple of big fights that I'm probably going to have to be put in the undercard because the time frame involved, you know what I mean? Because for the main cards at the minute, I've had a lot of messing about with the main card. I thought, like, well, we'll get them all matched early and they're all A-class fighters and that'll be it. Some of them are on their fourth fighter now. It's been a bit of a nightmare. So the way I do it is, like, I've got Rona Walker's like my kind of top fighter just now. And
Rona Walker's so good.
Right, she's amazing, so good, right? Man. But what we do is, before the beginning of this year, we're like, right, you've got this fight, right, for that fight, that fight. Mm-hmm. And that's happened the last 3 or 4 years. She's had 3 or 4 fights booked in nearly a year in advance. Yeah. So when you get to that level, I think that needs to be the way, you know what I mean? But some of them have kind of fell through, but they've got rematches, so all good to go.
So this podcast is sponsored by Damage.
Right.
And I seen that you put up a wee post about Damage, but before we talk about that, you need to head to www.damagefightwear.com. Go on, look at their training gear. They've got shorts. They've actually got MMA shorts and t-shirts now, I'm pretty sure. And don't forget to use OnTheRopes 10 for 10% off. So tell me, is there news?
Well, as it's such a big event, my main sponsor's Endangered, and they're doing the main card. But since I added on the undercard and then Screw Arms and Legs, we've got the 8-man tournament.
Yeah.
Endangered are doing the main card and they're doing the gloves and they're doing hopefully all personalised t-shirts and shorts and that for all the fighters, all the A-class fighters. So I've known Dale for a long time, and Dale approached me just after I started getting stuff for Damage years ago. But I always stick to people I'm dealing with. I mean, I'm not going to just jump ship because I've known Dale for a long time. So Dale said, if anything I can do, and if I can do this, I said, tell me what, I'm going to do an 8-man now. Why don't you get involved? And he went, I'd love to get involved. What do you need? Well, what do you want to do? He's like, right, I'll supply the shorts or the t-shirts, whatever. I'm like, right, we've got to get a belt. So he's designed a belt and everything. So Damage now official sponsor of the 8-man and the undercard. So
you heard it here first. So there's going to be a Damage. Is there going to be a Damage X Hungerside belt?
Aye.
Oh,
it's all designed already.
How's it looking? Is it looking?
That looks good, man. I think I might have a photo of it. Well, I think this is the final.
So talk to me about the 8-man as well, because Jeremy Phillips, he's no longer participating in the 8-man.
Well, he's no longer. He's had a long-standing kind of shoulder injury, but a couple of weeks ago he decided to kind of leave my gym. He's had a few issues with different things going on in the gym, so he's moved away. So he's kind of left the gym, and then he no longer wants to fight an 8-man. So I wish him all the best for the future. That I mean, no ill feelings towards him. It's up to him. He's a big guy now, an adult. He can decide what he wants to do. Yeah. So stepping in for Jeremy, we've got Bailey Graham back in the mix.
For OB's gym.
He was one of the original 4.
Oh really?
It was. In fact, Jeremy said to me, they're talking about doing a 4-man, and it was Regan Thompson, Stefan, and Bailey, and then William. And
what happened to that?
They're all having a chat about a 4-man tournament. Me being me, I sat that night and I was doing all my kind of sums on my figures for the undercard. I was like, right, the most I can go is $4,000 for undercard. I can't afford anything more.
Yeah.
And Jeremy piped in and said, these guys are talking about a 4-man. I thought, send me the link. So I looked at it and I went, tell you what, let's do an 8-man tournament. This is about an hour later after I've done all my figures. I've sat for ages and figured it out. I thought, let's do an 8-man tournament. We'll do it in the Hungerside Super Show. And they're like, right, okay. I thought, alright, $4,000 prize money. So I've just wiped out my full prize money for the full. So that is what it is. But
there's a lot of big names on this Super Show. How did you approach? You got Joe Ryan fighting on it. You got Rudy De Silva fighting on it. Rona Walker, Emma Usher. How did you? Is this obviously we're talking about this is always like you've always had it in your head.
Yeah.
But like to actually go and do that, like I seen you on Joe Ryan's t-shirt as well.
I was hoping that I'm getting one of the t-shirts sent up.
Oh, really?
I was hoping I was going to have it sent up today, and I was going to be sitting here proud as punch.
Yeah, I seen it. I actually
see the thing is, like, I'm doing this show. The fan.
Yeah.
I love this. See all the people on my show in the main card. I love them. Like all the people you just mentioned there, and you get Niall McGreevy, you get Garrett, Smiley. Oh my god!
And all the boys in the 8-man tag. You got Bailey, William, Jack Halliday.
See, the thing is, the undercard alone could be a main event. You know what I mean? The 8-man and a couple of fights in the undercard could be a main event. But I said to you, like, the main card's so big, I might have to move a couple of fighters onto the undercard, at right the end of the undercard. I might have to have one. If I said to you, I can't speak about all the fights because we'd be here all day.
Yeah.
But one of the fights I'm kind of real excited about is my guy Alessio Donardo's fighting Rudy De Silva.
Yeah.
That's got to be 3 frees. So that'll probably be the way it's sitting just now. That'll probably be one of the main events in undercard. I've also got who is it? Mark Campbell
from Master Gym
and Callum Buist. And they might have to be 3 frees in undercard. But at the minute I've still got 9 A-class fights.
Yeah.
And I've got for the main card, I've still got 9 A-class fights, and I've got one K1 British title.
1 K1, who's fighting on that?
Jamie McGowan is a Muay Thai Grand Prix K1 champion.
Oh really?
It's PK Academy. I'm going to get the name wrong, and hopefully get Jamie's name right. But they're for Scotland.
So it's in Braehead as well. Because you sent me the thing with the screen with the ring
setup now.
Yeah. So Braehead, how did you manage to get such a big?
Well, I was originally in the Lagoon Centre, and I was kind of dealing with the Lagoon Centre for September, and then I went and had a meeting with them in December and stuff. Oh, there's a setup there.
There's a ring there, man.
So basically, what we've got to do is the ring and then the VIP, and then the gold and silver. That's all on the floor level, and then 10 tables either side the catwalk. So that's all floor level. But I don't know if you're going to go to the Cage Warriors, but I'm going to Cage Warriors to suss it how it's all set up. But directly behind the silver seating, there's a big exit, massive big exit. The big machines and that can get in and out. So what they're going to do, that takes you to the Clyde side,
right
out the side of Braehead.
Yeah.
So out that side, they're going to have an open bar area, food stalls and stuff like that. That's what they're doing at Cage Warriors. So that's what they're going to do for Mescho as well. And they're going to put everybody out and in that way. So that's, and then what we've got to do is the family section at the top. I've not really spoke much on the internet about our socials and the family section because we're just getting it all finalised. But the family section, £55 tickets, and section E, £65 tickets, they'll be sold through Braehead Arena. But what they're going to do is, if you get an adult and child, you're going to get a 30% discount.
Oh, do they?
So that £55 ticket's going to be £35. So with it being such a big arena and whatever, when I used to fight and I used to go to shows, my daughter used to come with me. She used to be a 6-7-year-old, and I was never intimidated because I was a fighter and a coach and stuff.
Yeah.
But I could see people walking about the crowd with their kids, and sometimes you can't get through. This is what we actually need to, I think, to bring the sport forward, to help this. I mean, some of the bigger shows like Super Showdown and stuff like that down south have done kids shows before the main event and stuff like that. But I don't think a lot of the kids will then go to the main event. Sometimes they will. You don't see a lot of the kids.
No.
But I think this will encourage more and more families to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because if you're going to see a junior, you're just going to go and watch a junior show, aren't you? But then if it's all in the one show, then everybody's going to watch, innit?
Well, as I said earlier, I think all the juniors that are fighting are going to get free tickets. So they'll be sat in the family section with their families or coaches or whatever. Not I mean?
Yeah. So I've got a day every episode. I get my guest to blind rank Muay Thai fighters, but I've switched it up.
Alright.
So I'm going to get you to blind rank Muay Thai shows.
Oh no, I don't know.
I don't want anybody.
Everybody hates me already.
I don't want anybody to take any of these to heart. By the way.
No.
So I've got 5. The first name I'm going to give you is MTB. Out of 5, so 1 to 5. First one's MTB.
Oh,
I love MTV. Love it, but
I'm hard because you got to hit me with.
I don't know what shows I've got on here. They're all in Scotland, by the way. I'm not in Scotland. I'm not going to whip out one Lumpini next.
They're all in Scotland?
Yeah. Mainly the ones I've just been named.
I'll say MTV number 4.
Number 4. Siam Wars.
I've never actually been to Siam Wars.
Have you?
No.
I've been twice.
No, since it's been Siam Wars.
What was it before Siam Wars?
Would it been like SMTC, is it?
It's John Craig in it that does. Yeah.
So I've not been to their shows for a long time, but just be guessing what you've got in the rest of the list, I'll probably have to say 5.
Right. Muay Thai Jam.
That was good, man.
Phenomenal.
That's the first time. See, anytime Wojciech's done a show, I've always done the show the day before, so I've always been bursting, know what I mean? So I've always missed Muay Thai Jam, so I loved that the other week when I went
along. It was class. They had the drummers in too.
Aye, the drummers were brilliant. I got their details on maybe.
Did you?
I don't know, maybe there's something like that, but I've already got a musician, so Muay Thai Jam number 3 because I've guessed there's another couple.
Number 3. That Muay Thai Jam, by the way, that, see when the way they done the card, I really liked the way they done the card. Like it was like the undercard, the main event, and then.
Well, that's what they do in Thailand. All the main events in the middle of the card. They've done that down south a few times. I saw like Liam Harrison that fighting middle of the card.
Yeah.
And then that's it, done and dusted. Know what I mean? And the fact Victory, I was sponsoring Victory a couple of years ago, and they switched it about and done. I think when Rona fought in the tournament in Victory League, they done all the main fights and then a couple of local guys after.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think what names I gave you because I forgot. Oh, next name, Marshall Mayhem.
Marshall Mayhem. That was a really good show.
That was a good show.
Well, it's got to go number 2.
And then the last but not least, Power of Scotland.
Well,
number 1.
It's got to be number 1.
So, Muay Thai Jam was really good. MTB the Morner. You've got Stefan Gutwood and William Harris both fighting each other for the ISK Scottish title. Obviously Stefan's already got the WBC title. How do you see that fight going?
I've not really saw much of Stefan. I saw a video of him and Regan fighting because obviously I was kind of looking at the 2 of them for possible matches for Jeremy when there was ours. I don't know. I know William because 3 of my guys have fought William.
Have they actually?
3 of them get beat.
Off William?
Yeah, for William. Jeremy fought him. To be fair, Jeremy just came back for. Well, that was just. Jeremy just came back for a shoulder injury and fought him in Yokel or Super Showdown.
Yeah.
The undercard, the Super Showdown, and then my lad Sam fought him on Super Showdown, and that was literally the first show back after COVID.
Yeah. Oh, was it really?
So I know William really well. William's got good movement, and his the last time he fought against my guy Kyle Fallon down in there.
Kilmarnock.
Aye.
But see, elbow pads.
I see the look in William's eyes before he walked into the ring. I went, oh, that's something. He just looked possessed, man.
Aye.
So he's right up there at the top for my 8 man.
8 man, yeah.
I think he's the top of the list.
Mohammed as well. Sudais is really good, man. He trains at the same gym as Stefan too.
Aye.
Sudais, Mohammed.
See, the thing is, like, with the 8 man, anything can happen. I mean, I fought in an 8 man as well. Like, anything can happen. Just the lucky draw. So if you get 2 favourites, if it's William and Owen Gillis, if they fight each other, they've got to wipe each other. One of them's getting wiped out, and then if you've got to go for it, so the other one might get busted up. So it's like, So with William and Stefan tomorrow, it's got to work in my favour if William wins. You know what I mean? Because then it gives more emphasis on my 8 man. But I don't care who wins as long as it's a good fight. I mean, I'll be going along to watch it. I'll probably catch a few undercard as well. But I'm going to be there during the day with the kids, so I'll go away home and come back. So it's a good one. It's a good match.
I'm going to read out some of the card here because you did send me it. I'm going to flop these names by the way, but I'll try. So you've got Rudy De Silva fighting
Alessio Donardo.
Oh. That's going to be a really good fight. Rudy obviously is over there in Thailand right now and saw Deshapan. He's training away, I'm pretty sure he's fighting up there as well.
Obviously Rudy's one of my sponsors as well,
yeah,
so
exactly, yeah.
it kind of mixes it up. I offered Alessio the fight and he took the fight like that. He's like, that's a fight I'll get up and train for and stuff. Without a word of a lie, Alessio's the most naturally gifted fighter ever to walk through the doors of my gym. He just finds it hard to kind of get motivated at times, but once he gets in fight camp and in a rhythm, that's him. He's had 3 fights and he's had 2 fights in nights. The 2 fights in nights he was still kind of junior level, but it was at A-class fights on the show and he won fighter in night.
So what class is it they're going to be fighting?
They've got to fight A-class.
A-class. And then you've got Caden Connolly versus Callum Parson. Callum Parson obviously fighting out of Northern Kings.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that fight because Caden's like super kind of slick Thai style. Callum's kind of more straightforward. K1. That's going to be a good fight because I've watched the both of them a few times.
And then you've got Mark Campbell obviously fighting out of Mazda. And then Callum Buist. Is it Buist? Buist, there you go. That's
got to be a really good fight because Callum, you watched him down in Marshall Mayhem, he won the Scottish title. That's a really good fight.
Yeah. Obviously there's a lot, there's so many, all these names.
That's only like half the cards you've got in your phone there, man.
And then you've got Carmen Feeney,
yeah.
Emma Usher from Mazda, of course.
That's a big fight, man. That's a good fight. That would be it's a fight at 52 kilos. Both of them are, for some reason, are in the 55 kilo ranks, but both of them are 52 kilos, so I don't know what's going on there. But in breaking news, Rona's kind of penciled in to fight Emma Usher down the Mazda show in December, so it'll be interesting.
Rona versus Emma Usher.
That'll be interesting.
That'll be a really good fight, man. So, and then you've got David Sinclair versus Gregor Tom. The rematch.
The
rematch. How many titles? Is this for a title?
No.
No,
they're not putting a title on. Basically, we wouldn't have got to put any titles on, but I think they might sneak a couple of world titles on there.
just a few world titles. I might send one my way. Jamie Allison versus Joe Welsh.
This is a fight I'm really excited about.
Is slick as fuck.
The thing is, like, my guy Liam McKendry was supposed to fight Joe Welsh about a year and a half ago when Rona was fighting that Victory League at the beginning, and William ended up injured, so had to pull out. But at the time, Joe Welsh had something like 7 or 8 fights, and he was like, it was a hard day and whatever. But now he's had like 17 or 16 or 17. He's active as hell. He's active. But Jamie Allison is where he was, basically where Joe Welsh was a year and a half ago. That's where Jamie Allison is. He's at 8 fights, and he's had 8 fights in a year. So that's got to be a really good fight, man.
Jamie Allison obviously fought David Raffa back in November.
No power of Scotland.
Fight on POS, knocked him out with the kick. Was unbelievable, man.
I had to leave just before that, but I was actually
live. I was live on Insta with the boys down in our gym, and it was so slick. It was what do you call that kick?
A question mark kick.
A question mark kick. It was so. It's good.
It's quite tall for the weight, man.
He's actually boxing David Raffa in a boxing. Did you see that?
I noticed.
Mental. Straight up boxing, man. That'll be a good fight, to be honest. And then you've got Garrett Smiley. Don't know if that's his name.
Garrett Smiley.
Christian
Viesel. Well, Christian used to train out of Badco for a while, so he's well versed and he's been around the scene for a long time. So Garrett's up for it. That's about it. He's from Spain, Christian.
The name everybody wants to hear: Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan versus Beckham.
That is
sick. So Ryan is.
That's the only time
amazing.
Joe Ryan's fighting in the UK this year.
Is it the only time?
The only time.
Is the other fights in Thailand?
He's leaving. He might have left already. He's going to be to Thailand just now. He's fighting RWS on the 27th for the defend his title. And then hopefully I've kind of lined up a couple of photographers for RWS to get some photos of Beckham and Joe after the wins, hopefully.
Definitely.
Do a bit of PR.
Joe Ryan's last fight on RWS was an absolute war.
That's brilliant.
They were elbowing and they're absolute hell with each other.
That was some fight, man.
So what's your thoughts on obviously Haggerty and
Super League
just gone out?
That's
for
a good
September.
fight, man. That's a really good fight.
I know, man. I'm just waiting for. I just don't think he's going to fight Nico this year.
Nah, it's not going to happen this year. And I know what I had this conversation with Wayne McHenry yesterday. I was holding pads for him. He was kind of going off and one because Liam's good pals with Nico and stuff, and he was best pals with Jordan Cole. So they were Liam's raging that the fight's not happening. But seeing I saw the poster, I just had a smile on my face, and the reason I had a smile on my face was myself and a couple of other promoters have been shitting themselves in case there's got to be a big one championship show in the UK this year. Because if it falls in the day your show's on, your show's just getting wiped out, or you just need to cancel or move it or whatever. So if Haggerty's fighting in September,
it's in America.
It's in America in September. It's not going to be fighting in the UK this year, then, is it? Or there's no fighting in August anyway.
So what do you think?
I just jinx myself.
Do you think they'll make Haggerty? No Haggerty. Do you think they'll make Nico fight Lobo?
Aye, probably.
Nico.
See, the thing is, I don't really follow much to do with one. I love Muay Thai and I love watching Muay Thai. I'll lie in my hot tub and watch one championship. I just stick it in the telly and just sit and watch it. I love it. But I don't follow everything. I'm just too busy to get right in. If I need to know something, I'll ask one of the Waynes at the gym. I say Waynes are 20 odd year old now. I'll ask Rona, I'll ask Liam if that, right, what's this, what's happening here. They know everything, you know what I mean? All the younger ones know everything. They're basically full time Muay Thai. Like I've came through and I've had a full time job, working 60, 70 hours a week sometimes, start at my own gym, doing 20, 30 hours a week, and then gradually I work less and less and in the gym more and more. But the young ones that started with me years ago, they know everything. They know every fighter, they know everything about it. Big Liam's actually in charge of WK Scotland Muay Thai now.
Oh really? Right?
So I think something like that, like a younger guy in charge, help push it forward. I think that's good for the sport, you know what I mean? Instead of all the older guys arguing with each other and stuff. You need somebody to take it with scruffy neck and go, right, this is the way we should be going forward, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So who's your favourite Muay Thai fighter of all time? Who's the best person you've seen live fighting?
Oh, it's all time. There's got to be like Liam Harrison, it's got to be Saenchai. In fact, I'd claim to fame, I fought in the same show as Saenchai in Clydebank.
Is that when, do you know, Bobby actually tells me that all the time about Saenchai fought in Clydebank?
Super Showdown, Brian Calder bring them over.
Clydebank, by the way.
Clydebank, brilliant, man. I ended up, I was Bobby's coach, Rob Burke. He used to coach me, he coached me. I ended up coaching him and going with him coaching. And then that was his last fight before they emigrated. So I was through the back and I had a Scotland t-shirt, brand new Scotland t-shirt on with Bon Voyage Rab #1. So when he was refereeing and stuff, so before he came through the back I had a towel on me so he couldn't see it. But I was more interested in him not seeing that than focusing on the guy who was just about going to fight. And then started fighting and Michael Blood ended up smashing me. I didn't know he stepped in the last minute, literally a week's notice, and then it was a southpaw. We started fighting and I was like, what the fuck's happening here? And they shout, move to your left, move to your left. Move to your left. And I'm like, what's going on? And then they fucking split me there at the belter on that side, right in there. So I got stopped.
So You say you've been to a lot of shows. What's your favourite show that you've actually watched live, like down in England? Obviously Yorkhow. I watch all the Yorkhow fights on YouTube, man. They look insane to go in.
Ryan Calder's Yorkhow shows were amazing, man. I went to when Leicester's Ties just bought Leicester City. They done a tie fight, didn't they?
Oh really?
And they done it in a big marquee on the car park, and it turned out to see the owner ended up dying in a helicopter crash.
Oh, aye, that's right.
Probably landed just about where we were watching tie fights, ironically enough. But that was some show. That was one of the best I've been to in the UK. But Brian Calder's Super Showdowns with Yorkhow, they were different gravy. It was always just always about the fights. I mean, I've been to shows and it's the razzmatazz with the big screens, dancers and that, and I've been to shows that's just all about the fights. So I've saw them all. Yeah. I just have a mix of everything for my show.
What did you make out of the Steve Irwin fight?
I watched Stevie's fight.
It was a good fight, man. Don't know how he didn't get a contract, but it was.
It was annoying that they just cut to the ads and I didn't even get on speak or nothing. I was a bit pissed off about that.
I remember watching it and they just the minute that his home went up, it was just boom, blank screen.
Gutted, man.
I don't understand.
I noticed with that fight it was kind of more boxing, but that is the Friday night one championship. It is more kind of boxing, getting that way, more boxing related. The ties are everybody's trying to knock each other out because they want the money, don't they?
Yeah, they want the bonuses. They want the bonuses.
So actually, after I watched that fight, I fast forwarded and watched some of the fights later on. The ties fighting each other. I always like I like watching the ties fighting in one championship against each other rather than the Westerners. You know what I mean?
They all just stand there and get hit, didn't they? Like, they're all just taking some mad shots. Like that guy Stevie fought was just taking some absolute blows. No. And obviously you're in the full round gloves as well.
Just take some bombs. There's got to be a bit of damage done.
Aye.
But can it be sustainable in the long term? You know what I mean? Imagine you had 4 fights a year and you had 5 years at that. 20 fights, getting smashed in the face. See, the last time I had a fight, I defended my title and won against David Bowie. See, after that fight, David Bowie. After that fight, I had fucking brain shake for about 3 months. That was 8-ounce gloves, but that was on Mescho. But any time I fought in Mescho, I ended up cornering and hunting pads and running about like a dafty and then fighting at the end of the night. So I probably wasn't dehydrated. I was probably not hydrated properly. But I had brain shake for at least 3, 4, 5 months, and like little red lights and that were fucking killing my eyes, man. Yeah. So I couldn't imagine taking all the damage with the gloves for too many fights.
Yeah, obviously you've got it, mate.
That was 8-ounce gloves, you know what I mean? I fought about it with. And they battered my skull.
Would you have fought with 4-ounce gloves? I ask this question to everybody and everybody always says the same thing. If it's money's good, isn't it?
Aye. See, the thing is, like, probably do it just for the day at once, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you seen that in the Hitman show the month when Joe Welsh and that was fighting on it? After Joe won his fight and then Dan Bonner won his fight, Dan fucked his hand.
Fucked his wrist down.
But then if I'm right, they were meant to fight later on the night.
Yeah.
And then the other two guys just fucking fuck each other and their faces were a bust. You can't fight at the same night.
That's what Ross Trainer was saying. Ross was saying he spoke to one of the boys and the boy said
Jay Council.
Jay Council.
If the money's right.
If the money's right, aye. But he likes to keep his face. Like,
I was always about the glory. I was never about money. The most I've ever been paid like 300 quid, 400 quid for A-class. But then I used to buy the bus for my fans to go and stuff like that. So it's always about the glory. But all the fighters coming through the last 5 years, they can have a career out of Muay Thai ahead of them. Yeah. So they need to be sensible and the money's got to be right now.
Yeah, definitely. But like, especially if you're taking that amount of damage to your face as well. Like, these boys are only young. I mean, they're getting their fucking faces fucked up.
The dangerous thing is if they're cutting weight and doing it.
Yeah.
See, if they're cutting weight and there's no fluid in between the brain and the skull.
Yeah, people have got different ways of cutting weight, but in there, like, you've got the normal ways. Like, people usually cut like 7 kilo or something.
Well, I used to. My first fight of the year, I only had a short career, so I started when I was like 28, 29, I think I said. But then in my fourth fight, I broke my arm, so I was out for a bit. And then I came back, and at that point, I went, right, I want to do something with this. Because I wanted to put a pin, whatever, in my arm. And I was like, no, if I put a pin, they said, if you put a pin in, you can fight again.
No.
So I was like, no, I'm not doing a pin. So my arm sat like this for about 3.5 months, 4 months before it healed properly. So that's where I've got that, my positive mental attitude. It snapped in the second round of the fight.
Did it really?
Against Keith Middleton. And you could hear it in the video. I bounced off the ropes and it's whipped in a kick and snapped it. But I finished the fight.
Oh, did you do that? I
broken arm. But so that was that, man.
That's fucked up. Beating an arm and a leg, and you still went. Have you fought her since?
I thought, that was so like I lost my train of thought there. So like thinking, so I only had a short career after I came back for that. I decided I want to do something, so I probably had my next fight when I was 31, 32, 31, and then I had 12 fights in less than 2 years, and then I had one more fight after that.
What was your favourite fight, would you say?
Probably a Super Showdown fight. I fought Jamie McRae. Jamie beat me in my last C-class fight, but I thought I battered him for the first 4 rounds, but I didn't know how to score, so I was punching and kneeing, low kicking and punching, and the nannies were body kicking. In fact, Rob Burt and Big Dougie were commentating on it, and Dougie said to him going into the 5th round, what's got to take to win this? And Rob's like, a couple of body kicks. Sure enough, one, boom, Jamie hit me a body kick, hit me another body kick. I think he hit me with 3 body kicks, and then they won the fight, and I was raging. So from that point onwards, I was like, right, I need to learn how to score. And I went away and trained with Rob and went up with Bobby's, and then my next fight was Bobby's show in B class, and then I went to an 8-man tournament, and I got in the final of that. I was winning that, and I got a cut. And I had an inexperienced corner, and the doctor was like about 100-year-old and never done a show before, and he was like shaking all that. And if I had the experienced corner, they said, no, it's fine, he's winning, 1 round to go, but the fight got called. So
are you going to have any commentators at Super Show?
Maybe.
Maybe, aye?
Aye, maybe.
That'll be class, man.
We got a couple of guys lined up.
That's class.
Can't say too much about that, you know.
Well, what about like coverage of the fight? Is he looking into that?
We're kind of looking at that, but at the minute we need to get bums and seats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like when you showed the venue earlier on, it was like 2,600 people it's set up for. I mean, realistically, to break even, I need to sell 1,600 tickets, man. 1,600.
How so, for the fans at home, how are you able to purchase a Super Show this show, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, is not to be missed. If you've listened to the names that I've just said, these are not only the best Thai fighters in the UK, best Thai fighters in the world are all coming, and you can all see them in the one show on the 26th of August in Braehead Arena.
10th of August.
10th of August, that's what I meant to say.
Killing me, man.
I don't even know the 26th of August, that's the 10th of August.
So the 10th of August, we've got the best fighters in the world coming to Braehead Arena. You can buy tickets from next week through the Braehead Arena site. You can also buy through boxedap.com, and then all the main event guys will have physical tickets to buy. So I don't know if you want to bring up the stadium again, and then we could have a look at it. So basically what I'm going to do is, I've been to shows, and like the time the main event comes, the place empties because it's all the home fans are away. So all the pink section, £65 tickets, they're all the main event guys. So undercard's got to be orange section, and anyone can buy the floor section, gold and silver. So the idea of that is everybody in the closer to the ring's got to be there for the main event. I mean, it might be an undercard, like half the tables are empty, but all the guys with tables have been told to sit down for 6 o'clock, they've got to get their food, and then the show will start with an opening sequence.
So the people that are sitting next to the ring, there's a meal included in that, yeah?
Aye, like there's VIP corporate ringside tables, like basically right next to the ring, but they're like £1,250, and then you can get £1,100 ones, and then you can get £850 ones further away. But other fighters, I got a commission off that as well. But the minute all the tables are kind of sold out, VIP sold out, and then I've got 700 150 seats for the pink section, and I've got all the names you've just read out. I don't see there being a problem. I think I might have to limit the amount of tickets the main guys get, so maybe like 50 tickets each. And most of them will be wanting 100 tickets. So after they sell their 50 tickets or whatever, every ticket that's bought through the websites will have a link for their name to go in.
Yeah.
Click on their name and the main event guys will get 15% commission.
15%?
15% on every ticket. The undercard guys will get 12.5% straight. 12.5%.
That's good. That is really good.
So,
Jesus Christ. Damn, man. So, how many people seats did you say?
2,600.
2,600. It's
So,
doable, bro. It's doable.
it should be. I mean,
doable.
I've been to shows down south and whatever. I've been to shows in the Lagoon. There's been more than 2,000 people there. You know what I mean? Vinnie McWilliams had a couple of shows in the Lagoon and well more than 2,000 people.
Yeah.
That was kind of one of the issues I had with Lagoon. They couldn't. After 3 months of dealing with them, they couldn't tell me how many people was allowed in. I wanted 1,500.
Yeah.
1,500 to break even. And they couldn't tell me. So I went with Braehead.
So the Cage Warriors as well. It's funny you mentioned that because when is that? Is that not in August?
20th April.
That's April. Because you got Conor Bungard, Sean Clancy. Don't know if Mark Ewan doesn't fight with them, I don't know. Boys for higher level that are fighting on that thing, and I've never seen like a ring in Braehead Arena.
Yeah.
It's where the ice hockey is, isn't it? So how did they go about that then? Did they just going to cover the ice?
Well, basically, the ice, they've got 2 more games to play, I think. I was speaking to Braehead yesterday. They've got 2 more games to play in the ice, and then at that point, they must defrost it or something, or take it out, and it's just a concrete floor. Or I've been to the WBC Championships in Canada, and they had concrete pads over the ice, so whatever way they've got to do it, it'll be a solid floor. Nobody's got to be slipping it.
A ring on ice, man. That would be
that'd be mental.
Ice skaters.
But I'm going to go to it. I bought my son tickets for Cage Warriors for this Christmas, so we've got to go. And now it's obviously I'm doing the show there, so it's added advantage
You'll
for me.
You'll be walking a bit like that.
I'm
many seats are there?
So I'm looking forward to it, buzzing for it. I mean, not just to like as a promoter, just as a fan. See to have all the people you've just named in Scotland.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is a reason it's never been done for. I think the last time was 17 years ago. Gary done it. Gary for Power Scotland done a couple of shows in there, free, I think. But it's no feasible to make money. I mean, I said before, I've never done Muay Thai to make money, and I've never promoted to make money. The most I've ever made at a show is maybe about £500 each or something. Most of the time, when it's kind of breaking even or whatever. So it's not about money at all. It's like if I can get people in there to break even, I'm delighted. If I can get bums on seats and people to come and witness this show, I'll be over a min.
Yeah. I can't wait for it though. Like, this month, was it so many Thai shows? But the one in the Super Show is just going to top. It's just going to top it all because you've got like these people I'm watching on TV. Like I'm watching Joe Ryan, I'm watching on RWS. I'm watching Woody's fights on Facebook. You know, I'm watching the William Harris's fights. Like all these people that you're watching on the TV, and then I'm going out and watching them in the fights, and then these people are all going to be fighting at the one show at the one time. Obviously not fucking everybody's going to be fighting at one time, you know what I mean? Like they're all going to be under the one roof.
And even we sit back and think about it, like a couple of folk might be going, £65 for a ticket, but Cage Warriors cheapest ticket's £80, and it's the worst view. And see the ringside VIP, where I've got mine, the ringside VIP is £175 a ticket. And then the next level back for Cage Warriors £150 a ticket. Know what I mean? I'm doing the tickets, the gold section for £65.
But you're seeing the top level people as well.
Top level.
This isn't a normal, like your average, just normal gyms about the Scotland. This is proper. You've got a lot of good people coming out. So the standard's high, you know what I mean?
We need everybody to come along and support the show. I mean, what I've done is in the coaches group chat, and I've said that a little bit in the social media side as well now, is like all gyms, if the guys are coming to the show, I've got a list of as many gyms that I could think of. If your guys are coming to the show, your gym will be on that list. click the list and they'll get 10% ticket commission. So if they sell 50 tickets, they're getting money back. That, I mean,
that's class, man. Well, thank you, Mescho. Thank you very much.
No worries, it's been a pleasure.
And that will do us for episode 6 of On the Ropes. I'll catch you in the backstroke.
Cheers. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Enjoyed.